problem I was on about that we were telling you about. So that's what I'm looking to try and create. That's
stuff, yeah.
That's off a little Singer car that we've got. This is a Rolls nut, so and they were originally held in. That's me wheel. So that's how original Rolls-Royce axles were, and obviously Bentleys and other things were on knock-ons because they were more racing design. Rolls-Royce was all about elegant, sleek, and they didn't want bits and pieces. But obviously we're changing the application of the car quite a bit. So I want to go to knock-ons like that, but they're very clever. Their locking system's a spline, which I've one here, which I've managed to track down and find. So that's the spline that goes into the nut. So that's all held in the hub of the wheel, basically like that. And to release the nut, you press the spline in and then turn the nut.
That's on a big spring, is it? Yeah.
There's a spring behind that, so that lives in your hub and it's constantly pushed out and meshes with your nuts once your nut's on. So to release the nut, you press that down, which is all done with quite a clever
little
Rolls-Royce tool Mark A here. So that fits that. That little catch drops into there.
Right,
and when you screwed the bung, beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like just unreal, really, how they made these things.
Around and then
that would be your splines sat in there, and you wind that in. That releases your spline, and then knock your nut round, which is all great if you're not in a rush. But obviously, going back to the sort of more speedy thingy, we just want to set a knock on. So the project is to take this idea without obviously remachining all the hubs and putting left and right hand threads on, because that was the thing. All Rolls nuts are right hand thread. On other vehicles with knock-ons like that, they're obviously right hand, left hand to stop them unscrewing. So my idea was this was an easier way of solving the problem than remachining all the hubs. So I've made a wooden pattern. I've cast, I don't know if I've gone over the top with this, cast this nut, cast it aluminium bronze. So that's me look. Obviously we've got loads of meat into machine off it and stuff, but that's me beefy bit.
Have you got enough extension of the central spline to get the thread into there? Or are we talking about machining?
We still have to machine that to
let it go into the wheel.
To sit in like that.
Yeah.
To let that in. I just did the pattern. It's a bit like, unless you have a go, you never really think. So we just made the pattern, put loads of meat in. My idea is to machine all this back, drop it back. So obviously, machining wise, that side of it, we can do relatively easily. The bit that you are the master at is cutting these awkward little jaspers. And I was thinking, obviously, your wire machine's the baby for this bad boy. But that would be the way to do it, wouldn't it? To machine it somewhere near, then wire cut a set of internal splines.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, not a problem.
We've then got, obviously, when we put it together, these are still going to be on the hubs to push that in. I don't know whether to come up with an idea and still use that so you can pop that on to press that in, or we make a little C-spanner that hooks in there.
You can hook onto.
You push that down, it hooks over that, and you give it a slap with a hammer, and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
The other one afterwards, because quite often with a lot of these things, like that one purely covers the whole lot. But they had a little thread in here and they had a screwed cap.
Yeah,
and when you were braking, you just bogged the cap off. You didn't bother with that. Yeah. But we could obviously.
That would look neat with the cap on there.
Yeah, like an internal hex cap that just nips up at the end of it, just sits in there. And
yeah.
What do you think?
Nice and shiny.
You like it, Henry?
Yeah, right, it's getting the first one right. We'll get the first one right, the rest just follow. So, hubs and wheels and everything.
So I've had this one done just as a sample to try it for now, and my mate Mark at Foundry sent me it and says, "What do you know?" Casting an alley bronze seemingly isn't the easiest thing to do. He says you get a lot of porosity and
imperfections.
And he's done 2 or 3. He's been cursing me actually. He called me all sorts of abusive things. So do you really need him in alley bronze? But I want it obviously so it'll polish up, but as strong as we can possibly go. So I think we're right with that, aren't we?
Definitely.
But it looks good enough, that to me. What do you think?
Yeah, that looks superb. Really does. The time we give it a good tart up and machine all these rough imperfections outside, it'll look
the biz, won't it? And it's going to do the job. That's the one. Polish it up. Wish you hadn't done it on a wet day, wouldn't you? But, weren't they clever with these things, though? Right,
it's just everything about the old guys, the way they design stuff and the way they made stuff is just, you know, it's a pleasure to see. Still a pleasure to see.
It's funny though, isn't it? Because that word Rolls-Royce, and it just comes to everything. Oh, it's the Rolls-Royce thing, and it just was, wasn't it? It was like it really was like the dog's danglies, wasn't it, of its day? So, yeah.
And that's why they still are where they are. There,
yeah.
You know, perfection.
That's what we want. Perfection. Well, there we go.
We'll try.
Right. Spot on.
Yeah. Very good.
Brill. Well, I'll leave that little headache with you then. That's one thing less.
Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe so you don't miss an episode.